You're listening to the Daidokoro Video Podcast. Hi, I'm Pat Tokuyama, and you're about to discover some of the tastiest ways to feed your mind, body, and soul. A pharmacist by training, you may know me as the founder of All Day I Eat Like a Shark, the food blog, YouTube channel, or as author of several Japanese cookbooks. If you desire to live a healthy life and are looking for a different way forward with a hunger for growth, then this video podcast is for you. Daidokoro is a Japanese term for kitchen, and I'm glad you're here. With each episode, we're going to be bringing clarity to your cooking by blending Japanese tradition and life lessons into bite-sized bits that even a shark would enjoy. Ready to make some magic happen?
Today, we're diving into something really special, Shincha. This is Japan's celebrated first harvest tea. And believe me, it's way more than just a drink. It's the taste of a whole new season, with centuries of tradition packed into every single cup. But here's the big question. What is the deal with this tea? I mean, why do people in Japan literally wait all year long for it to arrive? Well, the answer is this amazing mix of culture, a little bit of science, and of course, an absolutely incredible flavor. So first things first, what is Shincha? The name literally translates to new tea. Simple enough, right? It's the very first batch of green tea leaves picked in the spring. We're talking about the youngest, most tender leaves, which are considered the absolute best of the best. Now, to really get why this tea is so important, we need to talk about a number. Just one number, 88. It might seem random, but this number is the key to understanding the cultural heart of Shincha. This brings us to a concept called Hachijuhachi-ya, which means the 88th night. So you count 88 days from the traditional start of spring, and you land on a day that's usually around May 1st. For hundreds of years, that exact day has been seen as the perfect time to start picking the tea. And there's some really cool cultural weight behind this. You see, the number 8 is already considered lucky in Japan, so a double 8, that's extra auspicious. There's even this wonderful tradition that says if you drink tea picked on this day, you'll be granted a long and healthy life. You can really feel the whole vibe of the harvest in a famous kids song called Chatsumi. It paints this beautiful picture of summer being just around the corner, new leaves growing everywhere, and people out in the fields picking tea. It's a tradition that's just woven right into the culture. Okay, so the cultural story is rich, it's beautiful, but let's get down to what really matters for us tea drinkers. What does this new tea actually taste like? What makes it so different from the green tea you might drink the rest of the year? Well, the difference is kind of mind-blowing. Shincha is just exploding with sweetness and that savory, brothy flavor we call umami. Compared to a regular sencha, it has way less bitterness and this incredibly fresh, vibrant aroma. It honestly feels like you're tasting spring in a cup. Now, this amazing taste isn't magic, it's straight up biology. Think about it. All winter, the tea plant is basically hibernating. It's storing up all these nutrients and amino acids in its roots. Shincha is made from the very first buds that get that concentrated blast of goodness when spring finally hits. So what does that mean for your cup? Well, it means Shincha is naturally packed with more vitamins and those amino acids that create all that incredible flavor. At the same time, it's lower in something called catechins. Those are the compounds that can make tea bitter. The result? A sweeter, smoother, and just all-around a richer cup of tea. But, and you knew there was a but coming, getting this perfect, nutrient-packed harvest is a delicate process. And in our world today, this ancient tradition is facing a very modern problem that could put the whole thing at risk. So, on the one hand, you have this picture-perfect dream, right? These stunning, lush green tea fields. But on the other hand, you have the hard reality of scientific research, which is basically sounding an alarm bell about a huge challenge to that dream. And here it is, laid out in a recent study. The problem is drought. It's a massive issue that hits everything. The plant's growth, how much tea can be harvested, and, crucially, the very quality that makes Shincha so special in the first place. So that really begs the question, right? What can farmers do? How in the world can they fight back and protect these incredibly vulnerable plants to make sure the tradition of Shincha doesn't disappear? Well, it turns out science is looking for answers right under our feet, in the soil. Researchers have been experimenting with biofertilizers. These basically use helpful microorganisms to make the tea plants tougher and help them bounce back after a drought. So they put two different methods to the test. First up is something called foliar feeding. That's where you spray the fertilizer right onto the leaves so the plant can absorb it quickly. The second method is soil drenching, where you put it right into the soil to feed the roots. So what happened? Well, this chart tells the whole story. After they crunched all the numbers, one method was the clear winner. Applying the biofertilizer by drenching the soil at a very specific dose gave the best results for plant growth and the weight of the new shoots after a drought. It's pretty amazing, really. By focusing on making the soil healthier, modern science is giving farmers a real practical tool to protect their crops. And that helps keep this beautiful, ancient tradition alive for all of us to enjoy. Okay, so now you know the entire incredible journey of Shincha, from lucky numbers and ancient traditions all the way to cutting-edge science. So, how do you actually make a cup? And how do you make it perfect? Here are the most important things to remember. First, water temperature is everything. Keep it well below boiling, around 170 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's too hot, you'll burn the delicate leaves. A good rule of thumb is 1 teaspoon of tea for every 6 ounces of water. And the best part, you can get up to 3 amazing cups from the very same leaves. Let's just walk through it real quick. It's super easy. First, pour a little hot water in your teapot or mug to warm it up. Then pour it out. Add your leaves. Pour that perfectly heated water over them, and then let it steep. That first infusion can be super fast, even just 30 seconds. For the next 2, just add a little more steeping time to each one. And now for my favorite part, the pro tip that makes this tea so fun. You have to experiment. Seriously, if you use slightly cooler water and a really short steep time, you'll get these beautiful, soft, fruity notes. A little hotter and a little longer, you'll bring out these amazing floral, complex flavors. So just play around with it and find out what you love. At the end of the day, whether you're geeking out on the history, the science, or you're just looking for an incredible cup of tea, it all comes down to this. From that first sip of spring to the last drop in your cup, Shincha is just a great reminder of the simple goodness of tea. So cheers to that.
Thanks for joining us today from wherever you're watching or listening from. And if you haven't yet, it'd mean a lot to me if you could share your thoughts in a review on iTunes to let me know what you think of this new video podcast. Then I can take that feedback and make things better for next time. And I'd encourage you to share this with a friend or a loved one, because if you've gotten value out of it, chances are they will too. Want to try cooking Japanese food at home from scratch? Head over to alldayieat.com/aisatsu, AISATSU, to get started today. And if you're new here, make sure to check out alldayieat.com/daidokoro, DAIDOKORO, for all the show notes, bonus materials, resources, and more.